Sure. Obviously, we're really happy to have Ramogi with us. He's a tremendous recruit, tremendous young man. I've had the pleasure of knowing Ramogi for a long time, since he was just first breaking on the scene. He must have been 14, 15 years old, maybe, something like that. Talking with him and his parents about his basketball journey and trying to help him along his way. It was certainly, he had a experience going down south, not only for his grade 12 year of high school, but for a first year university, and we're really happy to have him come back home. So he's joining a veteran group of players who are ready to win, but we do expect him to play a very significant role and help us reach our goals. And our hope is we can help Remogi also reach his goals, and not only him helping us, but us helping him kind of get to the next stages and pursue his basketball career at the highest levels.
How does that conversation go? I guess when you guys first reach out and start exploring this opportunity, when it goes to a player coming from D1, you had one player move on to D1. Now you have a person coming from the NCAA to your program. Like, how does that conversation
go? It wasn't like, I think I said this to someone else earlier. I've never been hard selling Remogi on recruiting him all the way around. It was more of just, and then for all of our guys, I just want to try to help them to find the best fit. And I was probably more of an advisor all the way along. And then, we in those conversations coming along, he started to, realize that maybe what he needed at this point in his career was something that we could offer him. And then the conversation just sort of shifted into how he could fit with us. And so it was, in a weird way, we almost never really recruited Remogi. It was just a relationship that was built along the way until the very end, right? So
you always had him here for some summer workouts, right?
100%, yeah.
And you were always thinking of this, right?
Yeah, it's in the back of the mind, but there's no ulterior motive here in terms of, like, with all these young guys, all these local guys, you're just trying to, my motive is always just, how can we help these young local athletes make the most of their career? And we might have a small part of that in their development and, working with them when they're young and going through, and maybe it's only in the summers, or we may have a huge part of that and they're actually part of our program. But, wherever that leads is wherever it leads. So we're certainly happy he's here with us, but yeah.
Remogi, what your decision to come here? I mean, what was the draw to play in Manitoba aside from, being home?
Man, first and foremost, it's all God, because realistically speaking, I just wanted to, right now, I just want to play basketball. I just want to hoop. I want to play as much as I can and get as good as I can with the amount of years that I have to be able to play, because I know basketball is going to end for me at some point, but I just want to be the best player I possibly can be. And right now I'm making the decision to come back home and play for Bisons. I feel like it's a thing that was God's plan that he had for me, because there's a lot of things talking about, I should transfer to this school, I should go down to JUCO, and those seem nice, but there's a gut feeling that I had with a lot of prayer and a lot of talk with my family. I feel like this was the decision that I had to make, and so far, I'm very happy I did, because the minute I made it, we started from the ground, and we're going up slowly but surely.
What did you learn from your freshman year playing down south that's maybe helped elevate your game, but what were some of the challenges too?
The one thing that I did learn that it's not even on the court, it's off the court, is that you need to keep your circle of influence small. You need to make sure that whoever is influencing you to do certain things is looking out for your best interest and not looking to get some personal type of gain. Because this world in basketball right now, NCAA, everyone is trying to get a little piece of what's happening, because guys are getting offered millions of dollars just to go to school, and everyone's trying to get a piece of that. But for me right now is I need to play, I need to work, and I need to play. Those are the two most important things. And coming from that environment of basketball, it's definitely the biggest important thing, because you're not gonna get anything if you don't know how to play.
How did you manage that this past year? Obviously, you went down there with hopes to play and not getting the probably wanted. Just how did you manage that, and what did you take away from that experience?
It was definitely tough. There's definitely some things that I struggled with a lot with my mental, but obviously talking with since I was born in Minnesota, so having a lot of family over there, constantly being able to have conversation with them, being able to talk about my frustrations, and always my mom and dad being a 7-hour drive away. It really did help to be able to keep me on the course, because there's many times that I thought that I was gonna quit basketball and be done, but I always woke up the next morning and I was right back in the gym again because I love this sport so much. But again, the support system that I have with my family, with the coaches, constantly being able to call different coaches back at home, Dan Becker, that I always am able to have a conversation with about basketball, Coach Kirby, that I was always able to. He was, like he said, he was a mentor. He wasn't trying to recruit me. He wasn't trying to do any of this stuff that other coaches are trying to do. He was really just trying to help me get to the next level and be as successful as I can. So that support system that I had was really important, and being able to uphold my religion and like pray and study the Bible and do all that kind of stuff. I felt like that also helped me as well, handling all the things that happened this year.
This is a team that's coming off a pretty impressive season, obviously. What can you add to this group that already has a bunch of veterans and whatnot?
For first and foremost, I'm going to add defense. The one thing I'm going to be able to play through 1 through 5. I can match up with best player on each team, and I feel like I can be able to stop them from doing what they're trying to do. And also the fact that I'm a very aggressive, a very attack-first type of player, being able to attack the rim and make a decision off of that. We're going to be working on that during the summer for sure. But I feel like those two things are going to be added, as well as me being able to catch and shoot and rebound. Those things I think are going to be a very influential part of this team that I can be able to add.
Kirby mentioned he wants to help you achieve your goals in basketball and be part of the story. What are your goals ultimately in basketball?
I mean, every kid has dreamed when they're younger to play in the NBA, and I mean, my dad always tells me I had the God-given gift of my height, my athleticism, and I know I have the frame for it. I passed the eye test. Now I just need to be able to put in the work to become more efficient as a basketball player. So definitely being able to go pro and play in the NBA is definitely my main goal.
So would you see the Bisons as maybe a springboard to go back to the States, or have you looked that far ahead?
There's definitely I can definitely see that happening, but as of right now, I'm focusing on being on this team. I'm putting my 2 feet in, because I learned when I was down in the States that being 2 feet into a program is more important than focusing on what's next. So my main focus right now is being on this team and helping them be able to win with what skills I have.
I think people would be surprised that you were actually considering quitting. That must have been a really hard situation for you. Did you talk to the coaches at St. Thomas and ask what your future looked like?
Yeah, most definitely, and they definitely did have a plan for me. It's just that I felt like the work that I was doing was empty, and I wasn't able to move forward with what I was trying to accomplish. But then I had to change my mindset. After talking with my parents, I had to change my mindset into what am I going to become, or to who am I today, and being able to get that 1% better every day. And that's one thing my coach from Team Canada, Ramogi Nyagudi, he always talked about after games and before games, just 1% better, 1% better. And even if I did have a bad day, I feel like if I had that mentality, being 1% better every single day, I wouldn't have thought of quitting, because I love this game so much.
Thought of quitting basketball in general, or just quitting St. Thomas?
Basketball as a whole.
Yeah. So what was the lowest moment that made you really,
there was a stretch of time where I messed up my ankle in a pregame shoot around, and like it was like that week before I didn't have a really good week of practice, and like the piling on the top of the things of me not playing, me struggling in the system, me not being able to do the things that I know I can do, and then now getting that little injury that I had, because this was the first time I've actually been sitting out and not dressed for a game. It had some toll on me, it just I was definitely thinking of quitting for sure.
Kirby, I'm curious from your point of view, the NCAA, you mentioned there's a lot of people, NIL's changed everything, the transfer portal has changed everything. Does that have any trickle-down effect to youth sports at all and your job as a coach here?
Are you saying does the NIL and the rule changes in the NCAA have trickle-down effect to youth sports?
Yeah.
No, it's a massive Niagara Falls waterfall effect. There's no trickling. Yeah, that's the wrong way to put it. Yeah, it's changed the landscape of underselling it. It changed the landscape of sports, right? Like it changes the way we do things, the way athletes come and go, and recruiting. It's changed all of pro sport in Europe, like around the world. Like Madrid and Barcelona are folding their developmental junior teams because all the players are leaving to go play into all the pros are gone, right? Any pros under it's not, it's a tsunami, right? It's not a trickle down of change, and it hasn't stopped, and we don't even know, the dust hasn't settled, and we'll see how it goes. And so, yeah, I don't know the NCAA knows what they are yet, and that's going to continue to evolve and change, and we have to be nimble at this point in how we do things. So the challenge with it is, and we're taking your question in a slightly different direction, is how do the athletes navigate that? And I think what Remogi's kind of hinted here is it's very, very easy for young athletes to not have the main thing be the main thing, right? So the main thing is basketball, getting good at basketball. And the reason why you started playing and your joy of playing, all of that can be sapped from you by adding the large amounts of money and everyone trying to get a piece of that money, and right, and that can really skew the entire perspective on what the game is, which it's a game and you play it because you love it and you want to get better and you enjoy improving your skills, and right, and I think it's very easy to lose that perspective, and I think that's a real challenge for a lot of young athletes and coaches and everybody involved in the system. So yeah.
Who are your closest friends on this team?
So as you guys know, the point guard Miguel, was my point guard for 2 years during St. Paul's, and then also people might not think it, but I'm pretty close with Mason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty close with him. We talk a lot about his journey, how it's related to me, and he's been, even before I was being recruited here, he's been a really good mentor. The whole team has been. Like, I can name guys off the top of my head. Jonam, great mentor. Darren, great mentor. Like, I can name guys off the top of my head. And guys I played with, Taven, he's he's a very quiet guy, but he's extremely funny when you get to know him.
You were provincial team teammates with Taven too.
Yeah, I was.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, I can name guys off the top of my head, and it's just I can say many stories.
So it's not going to be a problem fitting in with his bunch.
Oh, definitely not.
No.
What's your wingspan now?
I think it's 7 feet.
Okay.
Should be 7 feet, I think.
So that helps on the defensive end.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Kirby, not every day do kids from Manitoba with 7 feet wingspans probably walk through the door here. You touched on a little bit, but just what is a player like him? What's his potential, and what can he, add to this group?
Yeah, Ramogi has tremendous. But he mentioned the defensive side of the ball. I think he has the ability to be a elite defensive player of all positions, and that's a certainly a big piece of him. Where he has to grow and I think he has tremendous talent in this area is on the offensive end and making reads, as all young players do, and that's gonna be our focus, moving forward. But I think he can play at the highest levels of professional basketball, and that again, that's. We try not to focus on that so much, is how do we just take the next step in helping him to get better right now, this year, right? So,
does he make you a national contender?
I think we're a national contender before you even walked in the door.
How does it get you closer?
So like one of the things, like last year, we I would say lacked some size and depth, I would say, as kind of our forward positions are probably our only real weakness. He certainly adds to that piece. So I think we were the number 2 rated defense in the country last year, and I think we've just gotten significantly better in that area.
And Remogi, just, as Mike was saying, this is the first time he's had a press conference for a signing since he's been here.
Yeah.
The spotlight that comes with this coming home, do you embrace that kind of pressure and just the excitement, the hype, but also knowing that there's that expectation of performance and people being excited to see you back home?
I'm going to take it and I'm going to run with it. Like, my goal that I'm going to be very clear about is that I want to get better and I want to win. That's the main thing that I want to do when I get over here. The spotlight, all this kind of stuff that is going all around my name, I push that to God. I give that to God. But my main goal is to just win and play as hard as I can.
Yeah, expectations are things that come from other people, right? And that sort of pressure as an external thing, right? So I think he knows this, but this is what our theme will be. He just got to be himself. Just be you. That's enough, right?
So what are the coaches telling you now? Have you had any feedback yet, or do they know? They must know.
What do you mean, from our competitors?
Your rivals.
Well, they don't say much, so we'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
Expecting a more favorable coaching.
Yeah. We're definitely all in. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
When I was growing up, it felt like you guys and the other school in town to like really be national contenders. You needed some Toronto guys and whatever.
Yeah.
Now it feels like you can build around natural but talent and be there with the best in the country. Is that kind of
it's a really interesting question. I think it's a broader question too that's kind of cool. Is like when you look at most of the players in Manitoba come from the city of Winnipeg or Greater Winnipeg, right? So we're a city of 800,000-ish people, right? Now if you divide those between two, that's tough, right? Like that's not whereas historically now Edmonton now has 2 teams, although one hasn't been super competitive, but generally U of A gets all of those guys. Edmonton's 1.2 million people. Calgary has, I'm gonna be wrong on my pop stats here, but it's 1 point something, a little over a million in Calgary, right? Calgary traditionally gets all of those guys, right? And so has always been a challenge, but we've always had really good talent here. Our focus is more about player development and get the best kids every single year that we possibly can and invest fully in their development. And then the other piece is we just bring in really high character people. And I think that when you have that small margin, I think having a smaller kind of population and splitting it between 2 programs, your margin is smaller. So you just can't bring in low character people. You have to make really good choices on character. And you can't make a mistake on character. And the last number of years we've been really good on that. So we have really good people in our program. So yeah.
Was the CEBL the opportunity to play in college as a pro any kind of pull for you? Like next year you'd be eligible to play for the U Sports draftee?
I mean, it was definitely interesting to think about. Playing pro in your own city is like people dream of doing that. So, I didn't really think about it until it was told to me that I had the opportunity to be able to do it. So, I'm definitely going to be looking forward to it. And yeah, it definitely did excite me, but it wasn't a pull. Like, I was pulled because the coaches are great people. The team is great. Like, they know what I'm trying to do. and they want to develop me.
I just got a thought on NBA Finals Game 7. Who you got?
I really want OKC to win, but the Pacers are really good. The Pacers are really good.
So, who's your pick?
Like, I have OKC winning by 5 points.
Oh, you even put a number on it. Whoa.
It's gonna be a really close game. I think OKC is
Remogi
gonna
sets the
win
line. Look at that.
Well, there's one bad storyline coming out of this one from Mark.
Yeah.
Pick
OKC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shay's my guy. I'm betting on him.
One
What about
last.
Andrew? What about Benedict? You know about those guys?
Yeah.
How many threes is he going to take this year?
I have no idea.
What do you think?
I mean, as many open ones as I have.
Yeah. Yeah, not even, doesn't matter. Yeah.
If I'm open, I'm gonna shoot it.
Yeah.
Do we have a basketball here?
We don't. Should we?
I got it.
You want?
Yeah. Just for a picture?
Sure.
Like, how big are your hands?
I mean, they're not as big as some would say. Like, you look at me.
Let me see. I got pretty big hands. Oh,
They're
he's a
close.
little bit bigger than me. Little bit,
Yeah.
tiny bit bigger. Yeah. There you go. Bam, bam,
Just put the
bam.
dude on the other
Just
side.
put it on there. Highlight Neil Noonan.
Thanks, Neil.
Oh well.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Good job on that.